Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are in the midst of transfer portal season, the chaos, all the names entering the portal. And look, go back just a week ago, we were on here talking the article from on3.com saying Tennessee is going to be a big spender in the transfer portal. Now, here we sit. I get it. It just opened on Monday. Here we sit at Thursday, and we're waiting. We're looking for names. Who is Tennessee interested in? Who have they offered? Who's going to be taking visits? And so far, not a whole lot of news coming our way. Now, we had a live stream last night, really dug into the transfer portal, some of the options there. I've been providing updates. We've got a visit scheduled with an interior offensive lineman, Josh Thompson. He plays at Northwestern, 6'5", 301 pounds. Going to be taking visits to Michigan State, Auburn, Ohio State. And then next week, he will visit Michigan, Tennessee, South Carolina, and LSU. We've also offered Wendell Moe Jr. out of Arizona. He's a guy, interior offensive lineman, redshirt sophomore, got plenty of eligibility left. Everybody that they seem to be looking at in the transfer portal is interior offensive lineman as of now. They all seem to grade out pretty high in pass protection. I think that's interesting, and I think that's worth noting. But here we sit, and the portal's been open for a few days, and we keep waiting. We keep waiting, and all we are seeing is guys on the way out, not guys on the way in. Does that concern you? Does that bother you? Because we've got another Tennessee football player in the transfer portal, just broke by Hayes Fawcett, Tennessee wide receiver Nathan Laycock plans to enter the transfer portal. Says here the 6'4", 210-pound wide receiver will have 3 years of eligibility remaining. Says there On3 ranked him as a top 45 recruit. And if you go back, if you remember when Nathan Laycock was coming out, he was in that same class as Carnell Tate. Obviously, we were in a deep recruiting battle for Carnell Tate, lost him to Ohio State in the final hour. But when we looked as the rest of that season played out, Nathan Laycock just continued to climb the rankings, right? He was a 4-star prospect in that class, but he kept grinding. He ended up ranked 75th overall in the On3 industry rankings. He was the 12th best wide receiver in the country, according to those industry rankings. But at Tennessee, never really got that opportunity, never really got that run this season. He only had 1 catch for 13 yards. It reminds me a lot of Mike Matthews, how his freshman year, we kept asking, where is Nathan Laycock? Why is Nathan Laycock not getting opportunities? Well, then we hear this past off season that he was having issues catching the football, right? We don't see what goes on in practice. We don't always know what is going on in practice, but what you heard is that Nathan Laycock put the work in. Nathan Laycock caught 1,300 balls from the jugs machine. I can't remember the exact numbers, but he put that work in. But the bottom line is this is college football in 2024. So now, if you look at what we've lost at Tennessee, Vyson Lang, interior offensive lineman, possible backup center for 2025. Khalifa Keith, Jalen Smith, Jordan Matthews. But now you look at that wide receiver position, you've lost Caleb Webb, you've lost Chaz Nimrod, and now you are losing Nathan Laycock. Is this time to concern? Is this time to panic? Is this time to freak out? We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just hit the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy, it helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We're not reporters. We're not journalists. We don't pretend to be any of that. What we are is fans. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live on Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be a fan call-in show. We're going to get geared up and ready to go because all this portal madness going on right now, guys out, guys in, everything on social media. Guess what? We got a college football playoff game coming up next Saturday against Ohio State. We're going to kick off the week of coverage with you guys, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. So come hang out for that. So again, as we look at the portal, we look at the targets. We've talked a lot about interior offensive line. We've talked a lot about interior defensive line. Where is Tennessee going to look in the portal? We talked about a playmaker at wide receiver, right? And that's something that we talked about on the live stream last night. Kind of all three of us brought a playmaker to the table. Kevin Concepcion, a guy that Coach Jay wanted to talk about, does not sound like Tennessee is going to be in the mix there. Dane Key, a wide receiver from Kentucky, somebody that Coach Rice wanted to talk about, 6'3", 210-pound junior, has 126 receptions in 3 seasons at Tennessee. Brent Hubb said, hey, if I'm Tennessee, I'm definitely kicking the tires there on Dane Key. Another guy that we talked about last night, that's Deuce Robinson, 6'6", 230-pound wide receiver out of USC. He was a 5-star tight end coming out of high school, but once he got to USC, kind of switched over, primarily played that wide receiver position. He's a 2-sport athlete, plays baseball at USC as well, but he's got that relationship with Nico. Him and Nico hit it off at the Polynesian Bowl 2023. Really pushed to get him on campus in that class. He ends up not committing. He pushes off his commitment, but ultimately Tennessee loses out. He ends up at USC where he caught 23 passes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns as a true freshman. So again, when we look at the depth chart for Tennessee, when we look ahead to 2025, you're losing Brew McCoy. He's out of eligibility. You're losing Dante Thornton. He's out of eligibility. You're losing Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod, and now Nathan Laycock to the transfer portal. And when you look at a wide receiver room that we felt was loaded with talent, stacked full of talent, now all of a sudden you're losing 5 guys out of that room going into next year's football season. And I get it, man. I'm excited about some of the young guys, right? Mike Matthews, a guy that we looked for all year long, every post-game show, every Sunday show, every time I got live and went in front of this camera, you guys were saying, Boogie, where is Mike Matthews? Well, we saw him get some opportunities there late in the season. And I think Mike Matthews could be the guy to step up and replace Brew McCoy in this offense in 2025. You've got Squirrel White coming back in the slot. You've got Chris Brazel coming back, starting outside of possibly Mike Matthews. You got Braylon Staley, young freshman wide receiver, full of potential. So much potential in Braylon Staley. But then where do you go from there? Your wide receiver room is pretty much empty, and that's where I go back. You pretty much have to take somebody in the transfer portal at that wide receiver position because you're going to need depth. And you can look at the class of 2025. You've got some good freshman wide receivers coming in. I think Travis Smith is a guy that kind of quietly commits to this class. Not a whole lot of buzz, not a whole lot of hype. Travis Smith, 4-star prospect, top 100 guy nationally. You've got some other wide receivers in this class. Darius Jackson out of Memphis, Tennessee, a guy that Coach Rice was really high on, really kind of before anybody else was. Then he saw his stock go up, ends up being a top 200 guy. Joakim Dotson also committed in this class. I think you can kind of compare this wide receiver room to the offensive line room, right? We've seen guys have success. We've seen veteran guys have success. But outside of Squirrel White, we keep waiting on that young guy to get that opportunity, grab the bull by the horns and run with it. Go grab that brass ring. I like Kelsey Pope. I think Kelsey Pope's a great recruiter. I think he's brought some good talent in here. But are we missing some development here with the young guys? Again, Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod, Nathan Laycock, all guys that we had high hopes for when Tennessee recruited them. Did we miss their evaluations? Are we not developing them? Is the lack of rotation at the wide receiver position part of the problem? Guys aren't seeing the field, so they want to go elsewhere where they can get that opportunity, have that chance to play. I get it. It's 2024. When we talk about the portal, we're always talking about money, and money is a big-time factor about it. But which side is this coming from? Is it Tennessee coming to them saying you're not producing at the level we believe, so we're going to cut your pay? And they say, well, then I'm out. Or is it these guys saying, hey, I can get X amount of money elsewhere. I'm going for money. Or is it another option of, hey, I just want the opportunity to play football. I don't care if I'm making more or less, as long as I'm making something and have the opportunity to go out and play the game that I love. But the bottom line is we're losing 5 wide receivers going into 2025, right? When it started out, it's like, okay, Caleb Webb enters the portal. A little bit concerned, not too much of a worry. Got plenty of depth there. Chaz Nimrod hits the portal. All right, that's 2. We're probably going to have to look to the portal to add a wide receiver. Now you follow it up with Nathan Laycock. Tennessee is going to have to go to the portal to get a wide receiver. Now, do these guys already know? Does Tennessee know they're going to go out and get a big-time player? Do they know they're going to go out and get a guy like Deuce Robinson from USC that has the opportunity to come in here and be a playmaker right out of the gate? Do they know they're going to go get a guy like Dane Key? Do they know there's a big-time guy out there that can come in and contribute to this offense from the get-go? And that's why some of these younger guys are looking for greener grass. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. The news just broke. I was about to head out. But instead, I read down here to the office, wanted to get a video out, and let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would appreciate it. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is in the description below. There's also a link down there where you can join the channel, or you can just hit that join button right down there beside subscribe. It's the way that you can contribute to the channel, keep the lights on here, and allow us to continue to bring you Tennessee football content all day, every day. You can do that for as little as $1 a month. But if not, just smash the thumbs up. That's quick, free, and easy. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it, because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.